Hey everybody, welcome back to Nat2.
Where's just the two of us? Naturally.
Just the two of us.
We can
Make it if we try. Just the two of us. I don't know if you knew the other lyrics to that.
Probably, but I don't want to.
We're sick. We both have a rare disease.
Yeah,
called coughing.
Called coughing and sniffling. Last time we were here, we told you that we were both sick, and then I got like.
And you didn't believe it. I'm joking.
I got like legit sick.
Yeah.
Like horrendously, awfully sick, and I am still recovering from that. So it may sound like all of my characters have a cold. Their voices may be off because
yeah, listen, we've all been under a lot of stress, and by we I mean the characters. So if they all got the sniffles because of that,
they have a stress cold.
They got stressed out. Everybody got a cold at the same time, and I too am congested and I'm coughing. We both did some drugs before we hopped on
we
here.
We did cocaine.
We did, yeah. Hopefully that'll make
Clear
us
up our
cough
sinuses.
less. Yeah, I've heard that is one of the super duper fringe side effects of cocaine is that it's a decongestant, an expectorant. I snorted it in the bathroom off the toilet.
That would be a Wethway thing to do, I feel like.
Cocaine is the most high elf drug, that's for sure. That's why they look like that. All like streamlined and aerodynamic.
Just
they're going
now
fast.
Just said cocaine makes you aerodynamic.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's probably what it feels like. Do you hear this? Illness, baby.
Illness.
I have to have it.
Maybe you'll get it through the radio waves.
Coming down with the sickness. Get it through the radio waves. D&D podcast. Dayquil.
Our sponsor.
Sponsored by Dayquil and NyQuil.
But NyQuil only at the end of the episode.
Yeah, but the first half of the episode is sponsored by Dayquil. The second half is sponsored by NyQuil.
And we just slowly get worse and worse.
In the middle, it's Quill. When the day and the night cancel each other out.
It's Quill.
That's a Tumblr meme.
No, because if the day and the night, if you're thinking about fractions, the Quill cancels out, so it's day-night.
The finality and confidence with which you said, actually, according to mathematics, which I am very good at.
I'm not.
The numerator, the denominator.
The stalactites and the stalagmites.
Day-night.
Day-night.
Day-night. You just get you get tights, mites. The stalag simplifies out. The tights and the mites, baby.
Tights and the mites.
We got the day and the night, and the tights and the mites coming through the waves to infect you. To infect your body with our strange disease.
Our plague.
In the last episode... In the last episode of Nat 2, it was basically a breakfast.
Recap. Yeah.
Was it crosstalk is really good for an audio medium. We had breakfast. That's all that happened. Yeah. And what were you gonna say?
It was just a recap. Everyone talked about their experiences. Etheod got real upset.
That's true. Fingers said the word birthday cake, and Etheod said, "You can't say that to me."
that's an illegal word.
That's a no word. It ran out of the room.
Yeah. Because man, what you gonna?
Hey, you hit me, hey pal. You can't be saying the birthday cake word.
You gonna come here with a birthday cake on my birthday? On my birthday present, a birthday cake.
Dude, listen. Fingers doesn't understand the concept of something being too much for somebody in one moment.
Well, I think that it's more so that Etheod's like, yo, dude, I don't...
Whoa, dude.
You're gonna spill all of my secrets?
Hey, Etheod, is me, Fingers.
What?
It's so evident.
No.
It's written all over your face. Not. You're 16 and you're alone.
Shut up.
I just wanted to say that.
Shut up.
I'm not revealing anything.
Shut up.
So anyway, so that happened, and then Thalen was asked, "What are you gonna do?" And then he said, "I don't know."
And then Iffy said, "Sometimes life's gonna throw stuff at you, and you gotta make a choice whether or not you're gonna be a hero or you're not. Tavumile really wanted him to come, and Thalen wasn't so sure, and then fell asleep. Lucien fell asleep.
Yep. Well, they made Lucien, who was falling asleep, complete the motion.
Yeah.
And so they all left at his request, except for Tavumile.
So currently, Iffy and Yezi are somewhere in the house.
Everybody is somewhere else in the house except for Tavumile and Lucien, who are both in Lucien's room.
Yeah.
And Lucien is asleep, and Tavumile could go to sleep.
Yeah.
So you pop back in, as it were. And, so Lucien and Tavumile are upstairs. And everybody else is not.
Yeah.
There's no sort of landing on the third floor. It's just Misha's room, as it were, Lucien's room at the moment. So everyone is congregated in this stairway, and so therefore they would have to go somewhere else unless you're going to hang out literally on the tiny little landing before the room. Etheod, much prior to the everybody telling Lucien to go to sleep component, had run out of the room after a difficult emotional moment.
Yeah.
Where did he end up?
He went to the front door, and he's standing there with it open.
Oh, snap, dude. Fingers had followed shortly thereafter. And if you recall from the prior episode, I think it was Yezi who had told him, maybe he needs some space or whatever. And down. Fingers said no, because I'm afraid he's going to leave.
Yeah.
So, Fingers ran to the front door, basically, because he was like, if you are at the front door, as long as you're not there, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Etheod's standing in the front door. Right now, as Etheod ran down the stairs, what was kind of his, thought process? I mean, they're kids that were being sort of called forth from their rooms to have their breakfast, since you guys kind of did your own thing. And they're kind of, weaving through the stairs and, going down the stairs to go have lunch.
Yeah.
Or breakfast. As Etheod's running down the stairs, is he just, full, head down?
Yeah, I think that he's, not looking at anything. He's so hot with embarrassment and, anger. An unexpected, because he didn't think that was going to happen. And he knew that everyone was kind of treating him more like a child than he's ever been treated before. And he's like, this is weird. This is strange that people are treating me this way, but whatever, I'll brush it off. And now it's come to a head where he's just like, no, wait, you're treating me like a child, and to the point where I feel like I don't have any agency anymore.
Yeah.
And I have my whole life. And I think that he's just his face just feels so hot and prickly, and he's very much just not seeing anything around him, not looking at anyone, whatever. He's just I know where the front door is, and I'm gonna go.
So you're dodging kind of kids as you do that, and they're not really addressing you at all. They don't know really who you are. They just know, they know some of the ones that were near enough by have maybe heard your name or asked Meredith about who you are. But they're not, they can kind of sense from you this whatever.
Yeah.
Kids are extremely perceptive. If freaking I know things about kid, whatever. But they're kind of putting that out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're just we're gonna, and so they're kind of just making room for you and stuff. Some of the more kind of confident ones are getting in your way and making you kind of move around them as you go down the stairs. And you can hear the sounds of breakfast being created in the kitchen, which you have to go. You don't have to go through it. There's a wall between, there's the stairs going upstairs, and then the kitchen is kind of off that hallway. So you wouldn't have to pass Meredith in order to go down the stairs.
Okay.
She wouldn't eye contact you.
Yeah.
So you run down the stairs, you're standing in the foyer. And in the foyer, you see, roll a perception check just to see what you're picking up on.
13.
You see miscellaneous child, coats, shoes, clothes. It's just the beginning of springtime. Spring has just sprung, so it's still relatively cold outside.
Yeah.
And you see a cubby area with all the kids, names of all the kids, one for Meredith, And some of them are full, some of them are empty, some of them have lots of stuff, and, you know, it's generally, it's an extremely well-loved foyer.
Okay.
A well-used house, home, and not just in that there are lots of people in it, which you are not necessarily used to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were an only child.
Yeah.
It was just you and your parents, right?
And hardly, like, ever home.
Yeah.
Too.
So, but it's not just that. There's, like, on the cubby thing, there are little painted flowers. And there's, the kids all have their own cubby, and you can tell that they wrote their own names on their own cubby and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like details where you can tell that the person in control of this was thinking about involving the kids in kind of personally.
Yeah.
And like their imagination, their interests and stuff like that. And that's all kind of hitting you as you reach the foyer and you're standing there with the door open. And out in the world, you see just the street, people walking by, cleaning up the debris of the ball. Are you just like standing there?
Yeah, I think he opened the door and like froze and just was like he was fully just like, I'm okay, screw this, I'm whatever. Yeah. And then he opens the door to that possibility and he's like,
yeah,
I can't make this choice.
As you're standing there in front of the door, having just flung it open, and you see all this, you can hear the tiny little meows of cats coming from underneath the porch. And there was one sitting on the porch. This is a big orange one that as you open the door, it kind of starts making for it like it's going to walk inside and kind of like sniffing around where you are as you stare off into the middle distance outside. And you can smell the cool air. You can smell fires burning, industry happening. You know, you're in a city. And the smell of horses and people, and it's all kind of hitting you. And you hear from behind you and above you, presumably up the stairs, Etheod.
I think that he, like, hears that, but he just continues to stare out the door.
Your footsteps behind you. There were definitely footsteps of him approaching you, but you were not there for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like, you definitely would have heard it, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because you were leaving. You hear them approaching behind you. Once you shut the door, pal.
I think that he takes a step outside, but he, like, leaves the door open, and he's, like, standing in front of the door.
Buddy, come on.
What the fuck was that? He's gonna turn around and look at him.
I got this. And when you turn around, you can see that Meredith, when you open the door, probably peeked her head around the corner as though to be like, where the frick is the door? You know, and there's like a child or two. And when he says that, she gives him like a nod and kind of like goes back around the corner.
What the fuck was that? Do you honestly think that was fine? I'd hardly know any of those people. And you're going to tell them everything that you know about me? I hardly know you, man. What do you even know about me? I met you like a day ago.
I'm sorry.
No. Everyone here is saying that I am a child. I'm not a fucking child. I haven't ever been one. And maybe, maybe I was. And then this happened, and he points to his horns. And that is never going to happen. That was taken away from me. And so what was it all for, huh? What everything that I did for myself and everything that I had to do, and now suddenly I'm a kid. Suddenly I'm someone who cannot take care of themselves. It's like you're a tiefling, and you can't change that. No matter what you do. Well, I see that you also filed your teeth down. They're not sharp like mine. That you can't change that. I can't change that I'm not a kid. It's never going to change. No matter how much you want it to. And I'm a fucking coward for wanting it. He, takes a couple steps back. I don't need this. And I shouldn't need this. And I shouldn't want this. I shouldn't want this.
Did you get it all out?
What is that even?
I didn't want to interrupt you. I want to make sure you said it all. Why don't we have this conversation with the door shut? Look, man, I'm not gonna make you stay. I'm sorry for implying that I was gonna make you stay. I can't make you do anything. You can leave afterwards. I don't want you to leave, but you walk inside with me?
I don't know.
You not trust me?
I don't know. I don't really trust anyone.
I mean, I really can't. I don't think I really gave you any reason to trust me. So I'm worried about someone seeing you. Right? So we can shut the door. We can talk right here, man, but you said there's somebody looking for you.
Fine. He steps back into the house and closes the door, but he's right in front of the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need anything else to be taken away from me.
What's gonna be taken away from
you? You are... Everyone here is offering me something that is not real. This can't be real. And if I stay here, this is all. It's going to go away. It always does. I don't need to accept anything that can be taken away from me.
Etheod, what do you have to lose? What do you have now?
Isn't it better to not have anything?
Is it?
Maybe.
Is that what you want? You want that? Because it doesn't sound like that's what you want.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I want. I didn't want this. And he references his horns. happened anyways. And if I'm a child, then I have no agency. And I don't. What did they
What?
No.
The people who did that to you, they were supposed to take care of you, and they didn't. Am I wrong? They were supposed to.
No.
They were.
That can't be right. Because I don't want that to be right. I want that to not be true.
You want it to be your fault? Because it's not. They were supposed to take care of you. And they didn't.
I could take care of myself. Always have.
You couldn't always have, man. You had to learn how to.
Nobody taught me how to. I figured it out.
All the time you're figuring all that out, you should have been playing paper football, man. That's what I'm saying. They were supposed to do that for you. They were supposed to help you, and they didn't, and that's not your fault.
How would you know?
What do you mean?
You weren't there. Maybe it was for the best. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't want to be the ones to do this. Maybe they just couldn't take care of me, and I just maybe. I mean, there was a girl I knew, and her parents were never home. They never did anything for her. Maybe that's just how it was supposed to be.
I can't tell you a lot about what about my but I grew up a lot here, not here in this building, but here in this family. And I know what it... Don't tell her this, it'll go to her head. I know what a good mom looks like. I know what a good mom... I know what it's supposed to look like, man. And it's not supposed to look like that. You could have that. You could have it now. You didn't have anybody you could trust, okay, but now you do.
I don't know if that's true. Any good thing that I've ever had is... It just goes away. It always does. And I was fine for 6 years never having any good thing.
You were fine?
I'm alive, aren't I?
Are you? Is this living? Getting kicked around here and there, sleeping outside, all alone. Joining the Thieves Guild because it's the only option that you think you have.
I'm a coward for wanting this. I was a coward when I first met you. I was a coward when we were in that room. And I'm a coward now. For wanting this.
For wanting what?
Whatever this is.
He's gonna, like, walk down the stairs. You're not a coward. You know what would be... That would be... walking out of here because you're not brave enough to try. You want to talk about being a coward. Trying again even though something hasn't worked out before. That's bravery, buddy. I know you're brave. Yes, you are. I couldn't have done that. I'm telling you right now that I couldn't have done any of that. Oh, and I have all of this. I got all this and I still... You never had it. Maybe you'll trust my brothers and sisters. And my mom.
I don't know. If I can.
You can find out. Like I said, what do you got to lose?
What if you die?
Huh?
What if you die?
Me?
What if Yezi dies? What if Tavumile dies?
She's not gonna... Neither of them are gonna die, I can tell you that. What's your point?
And I'm just sitting here.
You're not just sitting here. I'm gonna be real honest with you, Etheod. Out there. You were then. Out there. You'd be a liability, buddy. You're just a kid, man. Look at me. You're gonna help out here instead of there. You know?
How's that? That just seems like something that you tell.
Who I tell who what? That I tell nobody, never. I tell myself when I'm walking around alone at night. Look, I get you don't have any reason to trust me. I'm just talking, but look, you can help Lucien out, man. I mean, I know a guy says he can take care of himself, but he can't. I'm sure he can't. Not. You could at least help him out, you know? My mom's got all of my, maybe our brothers and sisters to take care of, and I don't want to, you know. She can help out like that. And besides, you don't know what's going to be happening here, you know?
What does that mean?
We'll be back soon. And you hold the fort here, and we'll be back soon. And if we don't come back, then it's good that you weren't there.
It's not true.
Yes, it is. Look, man, I don't know anything about Tavumile. I guess, but if there's anybody who deserves to die protecting somebody, it's me and Yezi. So.
What does that even mean? Just because you're a tiefling?
No.
Why do you even think that?
It's because it's true, man. Maybe that's part of it, but
I don't understand what you mean, because if what you're saying is that you deserve this because you're a thief, because you're a tiefling, then doesn't that just make me the same?
no, we're different.
Why do you think that you deserve that?
You're just gonna have to take my word for it. That's not the point. Anyway, the point is that you definitely don't. Definitely you don't.
I don't know how to do this.
To do what?
Be whatever it is that all of you are hoping that I am.
What do you think that is?
Be a fucking kid. I can't. I don't know how.
This is what I would like. You to stay here. And let my mom cook you food. And sleep in my room. It's the biggest one, and it would just be you. That's it. That is my expectations is even too much. Desires of you to do that. You can act. I don't know what you mean. You can act however you want to act. Do whatever you want. Other than those things, those are the things that you shouldn't have to worry about, man. You shouldn't have had to worry about. No one will mess with you. No one's gonna take your stuff. No one's gonna push you around. You got food to eat, and a place to sleep, clothes to wear, man. Other than that, you can do whatever you want. You can be however you want. You're never gonna disappoint anybody here. We just like you.
I think that he just kind of sits down on the ground in front of the door and puts his head in his hands and is just shaking his head.
He's gonna sit next to you on the ground. Look up, look at the, cubbies.
No.
Okay, well, you saw him, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's one in there. I don't know if you remember me talking to you about Daniel.
Your mom has a kid named Daniel.
Yeah. Well, she did.
What happened?
He, died.
Okay.
He has a cubby. With all his stuff in it. The same way it always was. He's got a chair at the table. Nobody sits in it.
Why would she do that?
That's what love looks like, you know? And if you wanted to stay, there'd be a cubby with your name on it too, you know?
No.
But if you left, it would still be there. Just waiting for you to come back.
I don't have anything. I don't need one. She doesn't need to make me one.
We'll have to get you some stuff. I don't think my clothes fit you that well.
I don't really want any stuff.
Like I said, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. But if you want this,
I think I've already told you that I do.
then take it, man. It's a gift. We would love for you to have it. My mom would love for you to have it. I can't do this anymore by myself.
You're not by yourself, though.
What do you mean?
You have all of that. You have Yezi now. All those people upstairs want you to come.
I need my little brother. You know what it's like. They don't know what it's like, you know. Even he like gets a little closer. Even Etheod, I mean, he's just a kid, you know. He doesn't know what any. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand why you hate being a tiefling so much. I don't want to be anything else. And I know that you don't want to be one, but you are, and you're not. Like how you think that they are. And I'm not that way, and
We don't.
and that friend, and a friend that I had was not that way.
We don't gotta talk about my. It's not important right now. I think that I never really meant it.
You never meant it.
No, I never met. I mean, I did, but I don't really remember.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. I never met. I met another one. That was not. I did. But I mean, after I left, and it was just me until kind of recently. But then, what I'm saying is, maybe I could be wrong about that. Maybe about me. Maybe. Because I could never think that way about you, man. But if you're gone, if you go away, if you're gone, I'm never gonna know. I'm never gonna find out. Please. I don't think I could handle it. I don't want to force you. I don't want to say that. I would be able to handle it, but I would have to handle it.
Fine.
Is it really fine?
I don't know. I won't know
He's gonna grab your sleeve.
Please, get off me.
He's gonna let go. Thank you, man.
Don't do that.
I hope that I can give you... I can give you a reason to trust me.
Okay.
You wanna sit here on the floor or what?
That was kind of loud.
Hmm?
That was kind of loud.
When were you loud?
I was yelling at you. I really don't want to go to where the other people are because I'm sure that they heard me, and it's kind of embarrassing.
You don't gotta be embarrassed.
Well, I am.
Well, there's like a living room type thing. You go ahead, chill out in there.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want me to leave you alone?
Yeah.
Alright, buddy. You can let me know. You let my mom know if you need anything.
Yeah.
Alright. He's gonna stand up and give you a look. Offer you his hand to help you up.
Etheod kind of stares at it for a second and then begrudgingly takes it.
Mm-hmm. Haul you up. Alright.
And he just kind of turns around and walks away.
Yeah, Fingers is gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go find Yezi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go debrief. Etheod goes to sit in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's it's couches and chairs from the thrift store.
Yeah.
There's toys everywhere. Old drinks have been left behind, little orange juice cups that have just been left places and stuff. And there's a big old blanket kind of strewn over the couch.
Etheod just sits in the darkest corner of that room, just being I'm going to disappear.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So.
And I think as he sits there, he thinks about Luta and tries to remember what her face looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just gets gripped with fear because he's that was the only nice thing that I've ever really known.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't last for that long.
Yeah. And you remember her perfectly. Her weirdly kind of whitish, pinkish, golden skin and hair. And her, looking up at you with her big old eyes. Smiling when you said some dumb joke or... she throws a pine cone at you and you turn around and she's got this mischievous grin on her face. And you remember sitting up in that tree and packing away as much food as you possibly could into your body. And, nice memories of her. And as you sit there, you hear the sound of Fingers' footsteps as he walks back upstairs. Where is Yezi?
I think that Yezi... So there's Misha's room, and then you go downstairs. Is it a 3-story house or a 2-story?
It's a 2-story house with an attic room that is Misha's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2.
I think that she's on the 2nd level, but near the stairwell where she's kind of listening to this conversation take place because it was pretty loud in the beginning. She's
alrighty.
Okay. And I think now that she's kind of all right, this is over with, and she hears Fingers coming up the stairs, she backs away and pretends she wasn't listening.
Okay, roll performance.
Okay. 21.
Dang, girl. Fingers is like staring at the ground. He's kind of like down into the side of the wall because he's like, not equipped, you know.
Yeah.
He's looking down, looking to the side, and he gets to the top of the stairs, and you like backed up so that you're far enough away that you're probably out of earshot, and he's gonna like get to the top of the stairs and like look in your direction and then see that you're there, and he's just standing at the top of the stairs, and he just like goes, he makes like a face that's like, you know, like he does one of those. He got his like hands open and like facing like very open posture.
I think that Yezi just kind of looks at him and raises like her eyebrows and goes, Mish? Is everything good?
You like walk over to where you are. And you said you're sitting on the ground like up against the wall.
I think that she's like leaning, like she's standing, like leaning up against the wall.
He's gonna walk over to where you are and lean up against the wall and slide down it. And when he gets to the bottom, he's like squatting up against the wall, and he has like his head in like his hand, and he's like,
she's gonna like do the same just to be on his level.
Did you hear any of that?
No.
Roll persuasion. Or roll deception.
22.
Good, because it wasn't my... I don't know what I was saying.
Is he staying?
Yeah, he's gonna stay, yeah.
That's good. So I would say that it went well, then?
It did. I can be grateful for that.
Okay. You seem so sad.
I'm just, I feel bad leaving him here, you know. I feel bad about that. But then also, I feel bad. I would feel crazy taking him with us, you know?
Yeah. I think that the only person that would agree to him coming would be Tavumile, and that's because she doesn't really know anything.
She knows some stuff. I think you give her more credit than that.
Maybe.
But I'm worried about you coming.
Well, that's not a discussion.
I'm not going to discuss it with you. I'm just sharing that with you.
Okay.
Maybe you don't care how I feel about it.
I do care. But we're kind of at an impasse here. I'm not just going to sit around here waiting for you to maybe come back.
I get that.
I know that you don't want to admit this, but I can protect you a lot more better than you can protect yourself.
Yezi, I'm fine with admitting that.
Okay.
As much as I don't want you to do that, I'm not worried about. Listen, I don't want that to happen. I would have to. If it did happen, then it would have to happen, you know? If something like that, I guess. What else are we going for other than to protect each other?
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about when we were going to go find out information about that guy, right?
Right.
And we were talking about what we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
When we got him where we wanted him, I guess, and we were talking about killing him.
Yeah.
It was at the time I was thinking it would be for, I guess, I don't know. I was thinking at the time it would be for a good reason, you know what I mean? To protect somebody who to protect somebody.
Yeah.
Find them. Something bad's happening to them. And so, I guess I just wasn't, I was focused on that. I wasn't focused on I was trying not to think about it.
What, killing him?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that.
What I'm saying is, I didn't think that I would react that way.
Oh.
So I know that I've led you to believe things about me that aren't true, because I can't.
What have you led me to believe about you?
I told you I'd never kill anybody. I would never kill someone.
Is that not true? Have you killed someone before?
Yezi.
Mish, you can tell me.
Shh. We're not gonna do that. I'm just telling you.
Mish.
I've been trying to think of how to tell you, but
Mish.
I just was talking. I didn't want to.
Mish.
I was afraid you were going to ask about it, and so I just.
I'm not.
So I just. Something has been on my mind for a while, so. So anyway.
Thank you for telling me.
So
What I mean when I say that I'm going to protect you, I'm going to try my best to not make it come to that. But if it comes down to the lives of whoever is coming, or theirs, I will have to make that choice.
You're missing my point, Yezi. He's gonna, like, grab your hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's, like, playing with it. You're missing my point. I'm worried about... I trust you.
I trust you.
I don't. You said that you were gonna not kill anybody. I trust you. But if you get hurt, Yezi. If you get hurt, I don't know what I'll do.
Mish.
If I don't. If someone has to die for me to keep you safe, then they have to die. I can do that. I'm worried about. I could control it then. But if it was you, Etheod didn't even get hurt, and
you didn't do anything.
Feels really strong, and so that's what I was worried about. I wasn't really thinking about it until Etheod started talking about me being
That is not where you come from. Does not dictate who you are as a person. If that was true, then I would want to be doing what I was doing. And I would be fine with it. And I would do it more often.
But Yezi.
But Mish.
He's gonna, like, grab your cheek, like, put his hand on your cheek, put it kind of, like, knit it up into your hair and pull your face, like, to your forehead into his forehead. There's a part of us that is like this, that likes this, that wants this, and it's a part of all of us, and I don't want it.
Every person has an awful, horrible part of them that they could tap into if they needed to. It's not just unique to you and me.
It's not in you.
You don't know that.
I do. It
is.
It's different. I can feel it. It burns. And I can feel it when I think about it. Even when I think about someone doing anything to you.
You felt that in that room, right? I saw you feel it.
Yeah.
And you didn't let yourself act on it.
But...
And I was there. And Etheod was there.
Yezi.
The two people that you care about.
Neither of you got hurt, though, is what I'm saying.
Well, what I am hearing is that I just need to be on my toes. I'm not going to get hurt.
You better not.
I promise.
He's gonna stick out his pinky.
Just gonna wrap hers around his. I forgot to tell you that these are binding. You cannot break these promises.
Good.
I am as unfortunate as it is. I mean, maybe this part of it is not unfortunate. I am good at what I do. And that includes protecting myself. I hope that I am good enough to protect others.
If something happens to me, you listening?
I'm listening.
If something happens to me, I don't want you to hurt anybody, okay? We got another pinky promise to make, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
I can't make...
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you can, because you promised me you weren't going to do it anymore.
Hurting somebody doesn't mean killing them.
You don't need to hurt them any more than to stop them.
As long as I can stop them without taking their life, I will try everything I can to not take their life. But if that is impossible, I cannot guarantee that I am not going to do that. If you are going to die, I would rather take the life of somebody that may do that to another person than let you die. You just gave this to me. You can't expect that I'm going to let this slip out of my hands. I'm quite possessive.
Gave you what?
What do you think?
I do the same. So, it would be wrong of me to ask anything different from you.
Okay.
He's gonna take your hand and rub it against his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel, because you're like made of stone,
Mm-hmm.
you can feel it scraping against his like soft, humanoid
She's
cheek.
gonna like try to hold her hand stiff so that he stops doing that. you to hurt yourself.
You just gotta keep yourself safe.
I'm pretty good at doing that.
Yeah. He's just gonna sit there, kind of holding your hand against the back of his cheek.
Mm.
Is there anything else you wanna say?
No, I think that she just, like, she just kind of eventually, like, pulls her hand away and just kind of wraps him in a hug and just holds him there.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are chilling at the top of the stairs, you and Fingers. As I sit at the top of the stairs, it's still relatively early morning, 8-ish, 7:30, 8 o'clock. If you looked out the window, you could see the sundial and find out for sure. You can see the, like, sunrise colors kind of streaming through the window.
Yeah.
And the curtains are, there's holes in them and stuff like that, and tears, and you can see it illuminating the threadbare kind of parts, making them kind of glowy.
Yeah.
As you guys sit up there, somewhere else nearby, you can hear them speaking to each other, a conversation that began slightly earlier. Where did Iffy go after this all went down?
I think Iffy kind of like... I think that she was just like, man, so much stuff is happening and I'm just kind of here. I mean, I'm just waiting to go. When y'all are ready, I'm going to leave. And I think that she kind of, like, was walking behind Yezi and... Or no, she was walking in front of Yezi, and I think that she, like, stood on the second floor, and then Yezi kind of was, like, there, and she's like, I'm gonna leave, and, like, walked back down the stairs. It was kind of, like, wandering around the house and heard stuff happening in the foyer, and she's like, I'm gonna not be over there. And then, like,
so you're, like, wandering kind of
yeah, like, I think that she, like,
downstairs
walks into
rooms.
the living room, sees Etheod in there afterwards, like, nope, and,
Nope.
like, walks out.
I'm looking for a room that I can be alone.
Yeah.
I can do my thing, and
she finds one, and I think that she's just, like, doing, like, intense, like, weird stretches. Like, trying to see if she can, like, stand on her head and, like, do, like, a splits.
So as you walk into this other room, in order to get there, you kind of have to walk through the kitchen, because it's, like, living room is on one side, there's the hallway, living room, kitchen, and then other rooms, like, more, like, sitting rooms, playrooms.
As she walks to the kitchen, she's just like, morning, y'all, like, all the kids and all that.
You silently, like, go, morning.
Morning.
Morning. And then, like, the other ones are just kind of, like, adult. They give you the, like,
y'all
the
still
eyeball.
ain't used to me being here. I've been here for, like, months now.
But you haven't been here a long time.
What a long time to you? You been
12
hours?
No, there's 12 of them.
All right.
That's a long time.
I've been here.
You haven't been here.
I've been here 20 times. Ain't that a long time? That's more than 12, ain't it?
Yeah, I guess so. And the kid sticks up, like, fingers and starts counting.
So ain't that a long time? Ain't that enough time for me to be, like, somebody that you could say good morning to?
Well, we missed you, and you weren't here, so...
You missed me!
Of course! And that's, Leela is just, like... She's, like, folded her arms and was like, you were supposed to be here.
When was I supposed to be here?
We thought you'd come around more than you have.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know that y'all want me to be around here more often.
Of course! And all the kids are just like, cacophonous. Just like, why wouldn't we
well, ain't it a
we
good...
want to hear about bugs that you eated.
Oh, yeah?
All right, kids. Okay, no, we're not doing that.
Listen. I gotta be like... You know how I have stories and y'all like hearing my stories? Well, I get those stories by being out in the world. So, I can't come back until I get y'all a good story, can't I? Because otherwise I'm going to have nothing to tell y'all.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes I get good stories too, and then I tell them at the dinner table.
Can I hear one right now?
Well, there's a big, on somebody's front porch.
Right.
They have sort of It's like a wind chime.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Leela go there. We throw rocks through it.
Really?
Yeah, we try to get it through the middle. It's like a circle in the middle. And then we did the other day.
Really? You must have good aim. You know, one time I caught an arrow with my bare hand and I threw it back at somebody.
All right, so anyway, the breakfast time. Hey, actually, Iffy, I
Right.
actually had a favor while you're kind of doing, Lord knows what it is that you're up to.
You know, you and me both.
Yeah. If you could keep an eye out for Neelith.
Neelith.
Yeah, she had a couple bites and she ran back upstairs. I don't know where she went. So if you see her around, kids gotta eat a little more than that, you know.
All right. I mean, I'll go up there and talk to her.
Well, she's probably hiding. I just mean if she peeks out, I'll go up in a minute, look for her. You don't gotta wait, you know.
Nah, I think the
Disrupt
best
her
way to
rant.
find somebody is just call out their name, and she's gonna start walking around and be like, Neelith.
Okay, so where are you walking around doing this?
Just around. I think she said that she went upstairs.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she's like gonna walk upstairs and just be like, Neelith, hey Fingers, hey Yezi, never mind.
Yeah. Fingers, they're like kind of crying, like
Yeah.
leaning up against the wall, just going,
Have y'all seen Neelith? No, I don't actually know
Oh,
who
Nia
that is.
what's up?
Have y'all seen her? I mean,
No, we
no,
haven't seen her.
she ain't up here.
I mean, I don't know. I figured my mom, she they're having breakfast or something, right?
Well, I guess she wasn't hungry, but your mom just asked me to keep an eye out for her, and I'm trying to find her. I'm not great at finding people. I kind of can't see all that well.
Oh well, I mean, I'll look for her maybe in a bit.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good. She's gonna go back downstairs and just continue
Walking
your
around.
name.
Okay, cool. So as you're just walking in different rooms.
Yeah.
As you walk in one of the other rooms, and you said you're gonna do some stretches. You're in kind of like there's like a mud room, like a laundry room type situation, and you're in the room that's off that. There was kind of like a front. It's like a living room. This matters, but whatever. It's like a dining room that was converted into a living room because we eat in the kitchen because we're a normal family, weirdos eating in the freaking dining room. And then an actual like living room proper.
Okay.
Same sort of par for the course. Thrift store chairs, plenty, nothing matches, and toys everywhere. And you see in the corner, there's like a chair, and you see somebody who you know now named T-Dog or Good Boy sitting in the corner on the chair with his head in his hands.
Hey T-Dog, what's up?
Oh, Iffy, yes.
Oh, look at that! You're using my nickname when I'm using your nickname.
Yes, well, I thought it would be appropriate. Listen, are you busy?
No, not at all. I was just gonna see if I could stay on my head. You want to see if I could try?
Do I want to see if you could try?
Let's see if I can do it. And she's gonna like.
All right, roll performance.
13.
All right, I feel like are you trying to sit on your hands or on your head?
I think that she's like trying to stand on her head, but she has her hands on the ground to like steady herself.
Right.
She's like trying to quickly like
Okay,
put her
I'm gonna
hands
say
up.
that you get over like a little bit too far and you fall backwards onto the chair. Like,
Ah,
okay, so
can't do it. I guess.
I guess not. So you're unoccupied now. that
Yeah,
you've
I'm
done that.
unoccupied. She's just like laying on the ground, like
Upside
looking up. at him.
Well, I was hoping perhaps maybe we could have a bit of a conversation.
Sure, I love talking to people.
Yes.
Wow, I've never had somebody ask me to have a conversation. I just kind of go and talk to people, and then they just kind of deal with the fact that I'm talking to them.
Well, listen, it might be a misstep. It remains to be seen.
Well,
Could you do me a favor?
Right.
And, would you mind shutting the door?
sure, there. She like gets up. And...
She, like, shuts it with her foot
yeah,
while
I
upside
think
down.
that she. Yeah, absolutely. She's long enough to do that.
Yeah, she just reaches her leg out. And he's
She's
just
like crosses her arms. She's like, now what kind of conversation this gonna be?
would you mind, coming closer?
She like pushes her feet back, so she like her back's
You're
sliding.
far away from him. Like, it's not a huge living room, but it's still like a living room. He's like,
All right, fine. And she
Thank
turns around and she just kind of crawls towards him.
He's like looking at you like you're the girl from The Shining. Like he's like, okay.
She puts her hair out of her face and she's like, what kind of conversation is this? And she's like sitting cross-legged in front of him.
You seem pretty secure when it comes to making decisions.
Sure.
And I'd imagine.
Right.
You have the least emotional connection to I'd imagine, I don't know.
Well, to this whole situation.
You'd be the most objective.
I think that's kind of right because I don't really know any of y'all, and I'm just kind of coming because I think it would be interesting.
And I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel with this.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
Talking to me?
Look, I apologize. That was rude of me.
You could just say whatever it is you want to say. Remember how I told you that words are just words? If I ain't gonna take them the bad way, then, if I choose to take them the bad way, then that's my fault. I mean, I know that sometimes people want to mean them in a bad way, but it's my fault if I get upset about them, because I get to choose how I react to stuff.
I suppose that's true.
It is.
Well, either
You're
way.
right.
I can't figure it out.
Figure what out?
Why I offered to help in the first place.
Mm.
I mean, you heard the story. Etheod basically held me up and interrogated me as to the whereabouts of Tavumile. And I could hear them talking outside of our store, and I felt like I could help,
Right.
So I did. But I don't understand why. I mean, it's not really... I clearly I don't know, but I would think it wasn't in my nature.
Listen, what were you doing before you met any of these folk?
Working at a liquor store, our family's liquor store.
Right. Were you doing anything else at all, or was it just that day after day after day?
It was that.
Ain't that kind of boring? Ain't that kind of something that you after a while you've been doing this, and then you can imagine yourself being old? And you said that like what? Who was? You said it was your family's. Your parents were part of this.
My father.
Right. So, did you ever have a point where you sat down and you thought about being your father's age and doing this still, and then just kind of being sad about it, kind of being like, man, is this gonna be the rest of my life?
I suppose. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it for the rest of my life, but...
Were you expected to do it for the rest of your life?
I suppose I was, to an extent.
Well, here's what I think. Listen, I don't want to be... I'm not trying to be, like, rude or anything. I have nothing against Wethway people, so I'm going to preface with this. I know that some folk, that Lucien fella seems to not like Wethway people all that much.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I think that considering everything that he's been through, that might be a little bit fair, but, like, people just be people. People be making choices, not like the clan be making choices. But I think in the Wethway culture, I think it's really ingrained within the Wethway culture to be rigid and to be very, how do you say this? A lot of the rules and the social etiquette that a lot of people tend to adhere to, I would say that the Wethway people have really put into place. And y'all in your culture really hold true to the fact that you have to do something a certain way. And you have to do something exactly how you're being told to do, that everyone's agreed that is the right way to do something. But that ain't true at all. Life is giving you so many choices, and you could do anything that you want to in your life. You could choose to be any way that you want to be, no matter what you're born into, no matter what family you're born into, no matter what race you are, no matter what gender you are. You could do anything it is that you decide to do, and that's within the physical capabilities of you being able to do it. Because, I mean, listen, I want to fly, but I don't really think that's going to be possible. I mean, maybe there's some alchemy stuff that I could do that can make that happen, but I'm not smart enough to be able to make that happen. But anyways, I think maybe, just maybe, there's a little part of your brain that didn't quite agree with that culture. It was kind of telling you, hey, you could do this. You could do this because you can. You could just walk right out there and you know stuff that might help them out. And this was a choice that you can make. And sometimes the best and most interesting choices are just made on a whim.
I suppose it was on a whim.
Yeah. I mean, it was just on a whim that I happen to sleep in a warehouse. And then I meet those fellas, and then it's on a whim that I just decide, instead of me just running out, I'm going to carry this Lucien fella back home. I mean, I could have very well just been like, screw you, man. You're going to die in here, and I'm not, because I don't know you. I don't know anything about you.
It's not... I think that you talk about it like it's a bad thing.
Like, was a bad thing.
I don't know. Rules, social conventions.
I think that they can be. You want to know why?
I feel like I can guess why.
Let me hear your guess.
They can be used to hurt people.
I think that's part of it, yeah.
What's the other part?
I think the other part is that they restrict people from living a full life. You know what I mean? I think that if I were to follow rules and conventions, I would be a lot less happy than I am now. And if I follow rules and conventions, I think I would be a lot less confident than I am now. A lot of people think that, you know, being mixed ain't all that great. And being visibly scarred, especially on your face, ain't all that great. And I think that if I were to concern myself with that and choose to believe the other stuff that other people believed, then I wouldn't lie myself all that much, now would I? Also,
you do this because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. You won't be accepted.
I do this because I want to. I chose to be this way. I don't feel like I have to be accepted. I don't care if anyone accepts me. And I don't care because I choose not to care.
Do you really not care?
I really not care.
You say it restricts people.
It does.
Doesn't it also protect them?
How so?
As long as you act within the confines of what is accepted, then you are accepted.
That ain't always true.
Would
You
know?
acted...
Is that a thing that you would know, that you would profess to know? I mean, you profess to know so much about our culture.
I was in a war, honey. I had to follow rules. I had to follow commands. That ain't always mean that you're going to be accepted. And that ain't always going to mean that you're going to be protected. That really wasn't the case for me.
I think there's a bit of a difference.
Perhaps. But let me ask you something. You ever had bullies growing up? You ever had people picking on you? Seems like that Lucien fella up there doesn't like you all that much. Right?
Remind me, yes.
But you were following social rules. You were, not choosing to be different? Isn't that right? But you still have people jumping down your throat just because you existed.
They were children. We were all children. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just trying to explain to you that it feels like home.
Right.
So it feels sort of uncomfortable to have you talk badly about it.
I'm not talking badly about it, honey. Sorry if it's coming across that way. I don't think poorly of y'all at all. I don't think poorly about that situation either. I mean, I think people who want to be in that culture, people who want to choose to follow rules and have those social conventions and be part of that, that is their God-given right. That's just not something that I want to do. And that might just be something that you don't want to do. That may be why you're trying to help.
But isn't it? It's needs of the few over the needs of the many.
Needs of the few over the needs of the many.
It's foolishness. What if truly
Right.
my clan has committed a crime against a Talenti citizen with some sort of significant water clary related farm? I don't know the situation.
Right. By the way, I didn't say anything. That's absolutely crazy that girl up there had a whole farm of water
That's what I'm
clary.
saying, though. If it is true that our clan burned it down, she's a Talenti citizen.
Right.
If we prove that true, do you not understand what will happen?
Well, honey, seems to me that it is true. But, listen, even if you don't tag along, what's going to happen? It's not up to you anymore.
This is why I wanted you to shut the door.
Door is shut, honey.
Shouldn't I be trying to prevent it from coming out, is what I'm saying to you.
Well,
shouldn't I want to sabotage whatever it is that's going on to protect my clan?
I think the whole concept of clans is kind of ludicrous. It's just a group of people who happen to all be the same. Listen, my daddy was a human. My mama was a summer Eldrin. Why does that matter? It doesn't. They chose to be together despite their clans not really liking each other all that much. And I think just because you're from the Wethway clan doesn't mean a thing. Just means that you happen to be a high elf. And you happen to have a different king than maybe the people of the Talenti folk. Why does it matter if your folk, people that you feel kindred to, did something awful, which, I mean, all the things that I've been hearing, it sounds rather awful. It's your choice whether or not you want to be part of that.
Iffy, I don't know who did it. Should normal Wethway citizens be punished because of some sort of political game?
Well, look at it from the other side. Aren't those folk up there just normal Talenti citizens being punished for
Yes,
being alive?
they are. 3 of them.
You don't know if it's just 3 of them.
You open the door and there are hundreds of high elves.
Honey, you don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's just the 3 of them. You don't know if maybe this is a full-scale thing. But let me ask you this. What do you believe is right? Aligning yourself with folk who are so ready to murder and burn and kill and whatever to get their hands on some kind of substance? Or are you more ready to align yourself with the few who then can turn into the many? A lot of movements and a lot of change starts out with just a few folks having a few ideas. Doesn't start out with a whole clan and a king. How do you think that all these clans started out? Just a couple of folks coming together because they had something in common, some belief in common. Maybe this is the start of that. Not to say we're going to make a clan or anything like that, but we're just a few folks with some beliefs in alignment, choosing to help each other out. Now, it's your right to choose to align with the folk that you think you might be protecting, the many, as you call them. Or, if you believe that what they're doing is wrong, and I would say there's a lot of evidence that they're doing some nefarious stuff. I mean, I was head to toe with a couple of them. It's your choice whether or not you choose to help the few that are asking for it. I can't make that decision for you, and no one can.
If that is the question, then I would side with the many.
Well,
if that is the question, if it is to protect peace.
You don't know if you'd be protecting peace.
At least in the short term.
Does short term matter? Or does long term matter? In the short term, hell.
I'm not finished.
All right.
I would choose to protect my people.
Right.
If the question is it would make sense to try and bury this entire thing for the sake of my father, my life, everyone's lives here at the town, everyone I know. But if you're asking me personally,
I am asking you personally.
I think that we must protect the truth.
Oh, shoot, man. I think that's the right answer.
It doesn't feel very good, is what I'm trying to say.
Not everything in life's gonna feel good.
Suppose not.
I can't. If everything in life felt good, I mean, nothing would feel good. You know what I mean? If there was no bad to balance out the good, then you'd never appreciate the good, so it'd all just be kind of neutral.
Thank you for talking to me.
You're mighty welcome.
I'm not going to come unless I can write a letter to my father.
Nobody's gonna stop you to doing anything.
Truly do think so.
I mean, I ain't gonna stop you.
But I mean, regardless of whether or not he would profess to care, I would like him to know, at least, that I'm, I don't know, not dead or something. But
your father doesn't seem to like you all that much. Whether he profess to care if you're dead or not.
He doesn't. I think I remind him of someone who he...
What, your mama?
I look quite like her.
She not around anymore?
No, she's not. So, but I will discuss it with the others first.
That's your right.
And I should probably take it there myself.
If you wanna, but I mean, you think that's a good idea?
Well, I would ask Meredith to send a pigeon, but I don't feel comfortable with the idea that it could possibly be traced back to here.
How could that happen? A bird being traced back to here?
It has to get home some point, does it not?
I don't really know how any of that works, if I'm being quite honest. I kind of never really thought about it. I get letters in the mail all the time, but I get them sent to a tavern. Oh, shoot. I haven't checked in a while whether or not I've got mail. I might need to do that.
Well,
Hey, maybe we could go together. Wouldn't that be fun? We could get my mail, and then we could deliver your mail. And then I could be, like, somebody to protect you or something like that, you know? Because, like, I can fight real well.
I'm a bit less conspicuous than
You think
you are.
I'm conspicuous?
Yes.
Why do you think I'm conspicuous?
You're 6'4".
How do you know that?
I'm really good at estimating height. We'll discuss it with the others when.
All right. I mean, I don't think me just being tall is all that conspicuous. I know that I'm rather, like, good looking and all that, but.
Well, you ran yesterday through the streets of Waypoint Town with a person
Nobody
on your
stopped
back.
me.
Didn't you come in? You said you came in contact with 2 soldiers at the warehouse.
Right. You think that they're going to be just walking around town?
Iffy,
What?
I think that they might be capable of relaying a likeness to other soldiers.
I guess it's kind of true. Listen, I don't really care. Look, ma'am, I'm just kind of.
Iffy.
What?
We'll discuss it with the others first.
Fine.
He's gonna, like, give you a nod and stand up.
Listen, Thalen, I'm kind of just here for the zest of life. Anything that sounds interesting to me. I mean, I'm gonna need to get my mail anyways. My parents send me stuff, and they probably also worry that I'm dead and dying.
Are they?
I mean, I tell them all the time that I ain't gonna die unless I want to, and I don't want to die, so.
Well, you roll a perception check.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Thalen has gotten what he's needed from you and would now like this to be over. He's kind of doing the, like, okay,
Yeah.
so, yes, and, like, kind of one of those things.
You want to leave?
What? No. Did you have more to say? He's actively walking out of the room.
You still like such a lie right now. I mean, it's your choice whether or not you want to lie. I just like talking to people. Unless you tell me to shut up, I'm just going to keep talking to you.
It's not a lie. It's a cultural convention.
Oh, there you go.
Indeed.
Yeah, you want me to shut up?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to choose shut up.
He's gonna, like, beam at you. Just like the first actual smile that you have seen him smile.
You got a good smile on you.
What?
You have a good smile. I like it. Really lights up the room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he's gonna, like, open the door, and on the other side of it is Meredith. He, like, opens the door, and she's, like, standing there because she was gonna come in, because she was like, what is going on? And she's looking at him like, how's it going there? And he's like, oh, excuse me, and just, like, gonna duck past her.
If he's going to try to do a handstand again and just be like, hey, Meredith. She's, like, trying to do it again.
Is everything all right in here? I mean...
Yeah. Thalen just wanted to talk to me about stuff. And I'll get so excited when I get to have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, well, sweetheart, if you could not do that in here, because it teaches the kids, hey, stop looking. Teaches kids a bad lesson about things that we can do inside, all right?
Oh, is this not an inside thing?
Yeah, it's not inside activity, so I'm going to need you to, upright.
All right.
Feet on the ground. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll go look for Neelith again.
Oh, you didn't... Oh, yeah. Yeah, she hadn't come back down here, so...
You said she went upstairs. I mean, Fingers and Yezi were upstairs, and they said they didn't see her at all.
I'm sure she'll turn up.
Do you know any hiding spots that she goes into?
No, I mean, this house is full of them. Listen, let me tell you. Well, you don't gotta concern you. I'm sure she's fine. It's just, yeah. I'll take a look for her.
All right.
Is there anything else that Shay wanted to do conversation-wise?
I think Iffy actually will be like, oh, Meredith. Is that Etheod kid? Is he gonna be like a runner or something like that? You think that maybe we're gonna need to keep an eye on him?
Well, look, listen. Get off the tape here. Okay, everybody, just sit in the chair. Give me a second. I'll be right back. She like shuts the door and like walks into the room. She's just like, look,
right.
That's really not something I can worry about, you know?
Hey, I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, if he leaves, is it just like a done deal?
I mean, I don't...
I don't really know how any of this stuff works.
Well, like, legally, I could explain, but he has no place to go, nobody to whatever, so it's, it's kind of, whatever he wants to do. And if he wants to stay here, he can. I'm not going to go after him if he doesn't want to, is what I mean to say. So.
Well, are you going to tell me more about the name?
The name Etheod?
No. More about, like, Valmora. Listen, ma'am, I really can't get my head to stop spinning out about it. I'm trying, but I'm really
Iffy.
What?
It's not important.
What makes you think that it ain't important?
Listen, you're just asking because you're curious. No?
Is that bad?
What I'm trying to say is that it's none of your business. So unless you want to explain
ain't it none of my
me,
business.
You want to explain to me how it's some of your business?
Well, I'm gonna be going on a trip that I might die on. I mean, a lot of folk be having conversations about how grandois this whole thing is, and that fella, grandois, ain't that fun word?
Grandiose.
I'm gonna say grandois. I choose to say it that way.
That's fine. That's your choice.
Listen, all to help that fella upstairs. I mean, also, I guess to help Tavumile out, and I don't really know how the other folk, I guess they're just choosing to help. I like that Tavumile girl. She's real nice, but also, I'm helping out that guy up there, and I've helped him out a lot, too, and, I kind of want to make an informed choice. I mean, I already told him I was going to come, and that's probably true, but, like, I'm going to keep thinking about it, and then if I keep thinking about it, and then I ask him about it, I feel like that might cause some issues, and then I feel like maybe if I ask Tavumile about it, that might also cause some issues. He seems rather protective over her.
Roll advantage persuasion.
Okay. Nat 20.
Are you joking?
No.
I'm just going to roll. I'm not even going to look up the thing. Well, I'm just throwing my dice on the ground, of course. She rolled a 19. That's friggin' wild. You say your piece, and she's gonna look at you, and she's gonna give you like a head tilt, like let's go closer to the away from here thing.
Oh shoot! All right.
She like walks you into the corner. She goes, "I'm gonna be honest with you, Iffy."
All right.
Yeah, it was the last name that stuck out to me.
Valmora.
Someone with the same last name killed my son in the war.
That Daniel fella.
Yeah, I mean, he went crazy or something, killed his whole platoon.
Really?
I mean, I'll bet you Lucien knows something about it if you ask him. He might have, he's probably gotten this before, is all I'm saying.
Kind of doesn't seem like the folk that would want to say anything about himself at all. That's why I'm asking you. I mean, I very well could have asked him, but kind of seems unapproachable a little bit. Was it, related? Or just happened to be the same last name?
I don't know if he... His name really wasn't the thing I focused on when I found out,
Yeah.
So, there you have it. But what I'm saying is, if I'm being honest, the joke is that I don't know for sure
that it wasn't him.
But here are my clues that it's probably just a coincidence.
All right.
I can't remember, like I said, not what I focused on, but I don't think the guy's first name was Lucien.
You don't remember what it is, though?
I don't. I was a bit distracted. The other thing is that he went crazy. I mean, the guy was crazy. And Lucien doesn't strike me as crazy. I mean...
Nah, he seemed pretty all there.
And I heard that the other guy, the rest of his company didn't take too kindly to that. And they hurt him real bad.
Mm.
And he was in jail. He escaped, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Hurt him real bad. How?
I don't know.
How old would this fella be? Do you know?
No.
Hmm.
Like I said, distracted, right? It was kind of a hazy time for me, so.
Right.
So maybe, hopefully, now you can understand why I had some reservations.
Honey, I was never mad at you about that. I know. Listen, I know that I came across as like I wasn't going to come in unless he was going to come in, but that was kind of just like. I really almost died. And, I got stabbed in the heart. Not a lot of folk could survive that. He thought I was. And I know he thought I was because he crawled over to me on all the broken limbs that he had just to try to give me a raised dead potion. Ain't that something? Kind of funny because he was going to try to give me that. And I was trying to give him a potion. And then I gave myself, well, he gave it to me. Took one of my potions that I had poured down my throat.
Well, that's good. Look, I trust my kid, too.
Yeah.
If he says somebody's good, then, he knows a thing or two, so. It's just my, it took me by surprise as well. So, but I'm, but, so, while I'm saying I'm not sure, and that's true, I'm not sure. If that's, what he did for you, what he was prepared to do for you, and I say, there are worse people you could help out.
I would agree.
All right. Well.
Thank you for telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can think about other things.
All right. And she's going to, get up and roll a perception check.
7.
You see she's, playing with her face as she kind of walks away. Messing with her face.
Yeah.
Somehow you can see kind of from behind. And she's she walks back into she opens the door and walks back into the kitchen. And she's just like, what did I tell you? I didn't say it. I told you guys to get off the table. That type of thing, walks back into the kitchen. And you're alone in the living room.
All right. I think that Iffy is going to walk around the house more and just kind of look for Neelith.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, you're looking for Neelith. And all of this has taken a good while. Hour and a half in that kind of situation. And you guys have a lot to figure out still. And that kind of vibe settles among the everyone. Once we start getting things worked out, kids are going upstairs after having had breakfast, mom's doing dishes, all that good stuff. The general consensus is all right, we need to regroup type thing. So, Fingers is going to turn to Yezi. Well, hate to wake the guy up, but
Well, I don't.
all right, well,
I can wake him up if you want me to.
well, I figured we could probably get Tavumile to do it and give him a minute to, just bust in there and start talking about.
Yeah, I guess that's probably would not be.
Give him a minute to, give him a minute to just get himself going. So I guess, we can.
Do you think that I should be there for that conversation?
What conversation?
Figuring out what is going to happen. I mean, we are going to Talente's palace. I don't really know.
Yeah. Guy's a castle. He's a king.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I know that is going to happen and that I'm going to come. I just don't know if I should be in the room while you talk out specifics.
What are you talking about? Why not?
Lucien doesn't like me very much.
Lucien doesn't like anybody. Probably.
Likes you?
I don't know why.
Like, he has a good reason not to like me.
Yeah, but you gotta listen. He wants to fix the problem. He wants to protect Tavumile, yes?
Yes?
You got pieces to the puzzle.
I guess so.
Also, I'm not going unless you... You get it?
Yeah.
Alright. He's gonna, like, stand up, take your hand.
Yeah, she lets him.
I'll go, knock on the door, tell Tavumile the deal, let her do her thing, and we can go back up in, like, a half hour or something like that, huh?
Okay.
Alright. I'll be right back, and he's gonna go back upstairs. Tavumile, what has she been doing the whole time Lucian's been asleep? He's been, like, not moved, like, dead to the world, knocked out.
Picking apart the seams of, like the bedding and, like
stress.
Yeah.
Deconstruction, yeah. Just that.
Like, just sitting there kind of, and then occasionally, like, touching him to be like, all right, he's still cold. Good. Pick.
I'm not stressed out. We're rewinding a little bit just, because you've been kind of doing this the whole time. Go ahead and roll me a advantage percent. Well, what is Tavumile thinking about?
I think that she is thinking about how she's going to have to leave soon, and that she's like, I have to leave tomorrow because I'm supposed to be there in 3 days. And I think I would be probably on his good side more if I was on time. Because I know a lot of times people are mad when I'm not on time to things. And I think that she's, like, stressed out about that because that means she's like, I have today and not even tomorrow to be with him.
Yeah.
Before she has to leave again.
Are you worried about Lucien, or are you just sad that you have to go?
I think that she's worried because I think that she's like, I was away from my farm for so long, and it wasn't even that long. It was a half a day, and all of this awful stuff happened, and she had this feeling, like, telling Lady Gwyneth, I feel like something bad's gonna happen because I've been away for so long. And she was right. And I think that she's just like, I feel like that again. Something bad's gonna happen because I'm gone. But I don't know what else to do, and he can't come. And she knows he can't come. Yeah. No matter how much she wants him to.
So, as you are sitting in this room, picking apart stuff, and everything's running through your head, still kind of, it's early now, fully sunlight, like the breaking of dawn and all of that.
Yeah.
Has started to dissipate, and now actual yellow golden sunlight's kind of pouring through. The curtains are see-through, and so you're getting kind of like the kind of muted version of that on the far wall. And you're just sitting there next to Lucien and you can see the only movement is his chest rising and falling. Every once in a while he'll, like, twitch, sleepy twitches, and that's it. And go ahead and roll me a advantage perception check.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Wow. You hear the sound of the doorknob turning. And the door opens. And the door opens in the way that someone would confidently push a door open. And you can see from where you are that the door is confidently pushed open and then shut very quickly.
Hello?
It's, like, open, like, 3 inches.
Yeah. Who is that?
You don't hear any sound.
Tavumile's gonna, like, turn to look around, like, turn to fully face the door. And she's like, I think that she's sitting in a chair, so she, like, is on her knees on the, like, bottom of the chair, get the seat of the chair, and she's, like, holding her hands on the back of the chair and just looking at the door and being like, you can come in. It's all right.
You can see at the bottom the very corner of it's like a small piece of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lower to the ground than you're used to seeing.
I don't think that is somebody that I've met yet. My name's Tavumile.
She's gonna the door opens a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see peeking out from behind it a little blue face surrounded by kind of lightish brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of peeks in and looks at you and is kind of frozen in the doorway.
Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
Neof.
Neelith. My name's Tavumile. I really like your name. That's really nice.
She's gonna step in the rest of the way. She turns a little bit to look out back the door, maybe she heard something, and she steps in kind of quickly and shuts the door behind her. And she goes and stands in front of the door. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 6.
She doesn't really seem to be making eye contact with you at all. She's kind of looking not at you.
Do you want to be in here?
She's gonna kind of walk. She's in front of the door. She's gonna kind of walk up kind of close to... She's walking along the far wall.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna kind of walk up close to the bed a little bit, but at the very foot of the bed, and just kind of stand there. And she's looking at you and not you also.
Yeah.
Kind of in rapid succession.
That's Lucien. He's asleep, so we have to be quiet. Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
You're blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a winter eladrin?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I haven't met a lot of winter eladrins. Actually, I've only met 2. Lucien and then a new guy that I met today, and he wasn't very nice.
She's looking at you, looking just around. Roll a insight check.
Okay. 17.
She looks like she is scared of you. That's for sure. She's very cowed by your presence, and even your sweetness. She's sort of what's the game here about that? But you can tell that she is trying to shove that all in a box because she is clearly very curious about Lucien.
I'm sorry if I'm coming across a little scary. I don't mean to be, but I know that a lot of new things can be scary. But you don't need to be scared because, well, I guess I don't really know why, except for the fact that I know myself and I know that I'm really nice. Or at least I like to think that I am.
Is he dead?
No, which is really good that he's not, because I really love him, and I'd be really sad if he was.
He looks scary.
He looks scary. Why does he look scary?
Her eyes kind of go down, and you see her looking at one of the bandages on him that's a little bit red.
Well, he's just a little hurt right now. You know how sometimes if you fall and you scrape your knee and then you have to have a band-aid on it? Well, it's kind of like he just fell really bad and he has to have a lot of band-aids. But then it goes away and then you're fine and you're normal and you could keep playing.
She's gonna kind of walk closer, she's moving slightly. Let me roll some. She's gonna kind of she's nods at you, but her head's kind of down. She's gonna walk slightly closer to you, she's trying to get a look at his face, kind of.
You can come over here if you want to. We just need to try not to wake him up.
She's just gonna kind of like stand there,
Mm-hmm.
staring at him. And you can see as you get kind of like she walks in there and get a better look at her. You can see she's got kind of like a little like light brown bob.
Mm-hmm.
Her skin is lighter than Lucien's.
Okay.
And Lucien's skin now is a little bit light because he's not doing so hot.
Yeah.
But you're used to seeing him normally.
Mm-hmm.
And her skin is lighter than his skin is now. So
Okay.
she's pretty light colored in general. And it's cold-ish still.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing like a sundress.
Yeah.
Like you would not need any more than that. And you can see too that like on her cheeks, and you can see in her hair is a little bit wet, and she
Mhm.
has sweat kind of running down her face.
Mm-hmm.
As she kind of like stands there closer to you.
It's gonna be summer soon, isn't it?
Mum says that's not my season.
It's not your season. Your season is winter. But Lucien, that guy, he does really well during the summer because he thinks of it like, he said, a competition one time. It's like he has to win against summer.
Oh, also as a descriptor.
Mm-hmm.
She is clearly old enough to be interested in other people because
Yeah.
she is. And so age, like 8, 9,
Yeah.
10 in that range, but she's very short.
Okay.
Like she's really little. And she's kind of like looking at him like she's got like her head kind of turned to the
Mhm.
side. And she's like standing there next to you looking at him. She's holding a book in one hand as well.
He says that he has to win against summer, and he always does. And you do too. Because you're still here.
I don't like summer.
He doesn't like summer either.
It's too hot, and it's too hot now. It's not even summer.
I know. I get really hot during the summer too, but I'm a little bit lucky because right now is my season, and in the springtime it gets hot, but it also gets cold, and so I get to deal with the seasons a little bit better.
That's what I look like in the summer.
What do you mean?
And she points at Lucien.
Oh, sick.
She like nods her head.
I get sick during the winter.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And he takes care of me. He's a doctor.
She's gonna kind of like get a little closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna kind of like make like she's gonna sit down next to you.
Mhm.
And then you hear at the door, hey, and when you hear that voice, she vanishes. Like literally like dis-a-frickin' peers.
Yeah.
And you can see her kind of like as she goes to run away, she like stumbles a little bit
Yeah.
and like hits the ground like behind where the door is, and she's like,
Are you alright?
huh? Me? What?
No.
Is Lucien okay?
Yeah. Neelith, are you alright?
Oh, is this? Oh man! All right. And he's gonna like fingers is gonna like push the door the rest of the way open. You hear he like pushes the door the rest of the way open, and because she's like,
Yeah.
like you can hear him starting to do that, and he pushes the door. Nia, what are you doing in here? And then you hear Tavumile from behind you. What's going on?
Oh, listen.
Oh, well, I guess mission accomplished. Hey, Nia, don't cry. And she's like, doing one of those.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing in here? We can't. He's asleep, right? You gotta go eat some more. Mom said you didn't eat anything. I wanted to.
I think that Tavumile, like, touches Lucien's arm and she'd be like, I'm not going anywhere, I promise. And then she walks over to Neelith and, like, kind of gets on her knees to be down, like, in front of her. And she'd be like, it's alright. Sometimes you fall and then it hurts. But then, I'm really good at falling. I fall a lot. But then you get back up and then you don't think about it and then it goes away, and it stops hurting.
She's like, Fingers is like kind of like rubbing her on the back, and she's doing the like child sniffles. You're saying that to her, and Tavumile and Fingers also hears from behind you, and you can kind of hear the sounds of Lucien like sitting himself up. And the moment you hear that, she like stops being sad about having fallen and just looks over at Lucien.
Lucien, are you all right?
And you can roll an insight check. You roll with advantage.
9.
You are talking to him, and he is not, clicking with that. He's got himself kind of like pulled up against the bed frame, and he turns his head, and you can tell that he is looking straight at Neelith, like fully just like and she's like looking at him wide eyed, and he's looking at her like with his head tilted.
Yeah. Lucien, this is Neelith.
Nice to meet you. She's like fully mystified, looking up at him, and she's not saying anything at all. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We didn't mean to. She didn't. She's probably just, there's not a lot around here, I know how it is. So, we're gonna go though. He's gonna like get up and kind of like grab her by the shirt, like he's gonna like take her out. And Lucien's like looking at her. She's looking at Lucien, and she's like not moving anywhere, just like eye contact with each other.
It was really nice to meet you.
Where are you from? Bright Pass? Blimey. You're tough, huh? When I was your age, even this time, you'd be crying like a baby. And I'm from Murbard. My family is. You're far from home. You are too. I was born here. I am home. And Fingers is gonna kind of like, they're kind of talking, and Fingers is gonna kind of like look at you and say, we're all ready to talk whenever y'all are ready, so just let me know. Alright. Nee, you gotta go eat some more breakfast, okay? She like is like looking up at him and looking up at Lucien. And who are you facing? Who is Tavumile facing?
I think that Tavumile's kind of looking at Lucien. Like, she's still in front of Neelith, but she's like, this is stuff about Lucien that I've never heard before.
He's like kind of pulling on her shirt, be like, let's go. And then he's like looking at her as she kind of walks away. And he gives her just like a little tiny, from nowhere that you've ever seen before, like a place of him you've never seen before, just like a little smile, just like and she smiles back at him, but it's much bigger and much more expressive. And then Fingers kind of drags her out, but Fingers is looking at him and looking at her and looking at you, and he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just like drags her out of the room, and shuts the door behind him.
I think that you made her happy.
Do you think so?
Did you see her smile?
I suppose so.
It's a really nice smile. You've never told me where you're from. You would just always say that it's really far away.
Well, now you know.
I do.
I don't know if that would change.
Nothing. I just like knowing stuff about you.
It's bizarre.
Why is that bizarre?
To speak to her.
Oh, to speak to her?
Yeah. Not Winter Eldrin, I mean,
Really? That's the third well, I guess the second Winter Eldrin I've seen in town.
Yeah. I mean, we're around, but speak to a child.
It was weird to speak to a child.
I've never really done that before.
Really?
A intelligent child.
But you've spoken to kids before.
So different.
Is it? Why is it different?
Kind of feel for her, you know? That's all.
She said that she hates the summer. She said it's too hot right now, too.
That's what I mean.
I
Yeah.
told her what you told me before one time. That you're in a competition with summer. And that she just has to win. And that she has been. And she's been doing a good job.
She has been.
Well, she has been because she's still here. Isn't that winning?
It's surprising to me. Bright Pass is a lot colder than the place I'm from, Tav.
Is it really? She does say that she gets sick a lot.
Poor kid, I can maybe do something about that.
Maybe you could.
But I'm not. This.
Well, you're going to heal. I think that Iffy did a good job. And I would say that the stitches that I did helped a lot.
Thanks for that, mate.
Don't call me that.
Well, I suppose we've got to get down to business, eh?
I guess so. I was thinking about something while you were asleep. I know that you don't like me talking about you really to other people, and you don't like me asking stuff about you to other people, and so I wanted to ask you, and I don't know if you're going to be mad at me or not, or if this is going to make you upset, but I feel like if I don't ask you, then maybe somebody else will tell me, and then I'll feel like I'm doing a bad thing because...
Tav, what is it?
Promise you're not going to get mad at me.
No, what is it?
No. No as in you're not going to get mad at me, or no as in you don't promise.
I don't promise.
Why?
Tav, I'd never get mad at you.
Alright. When we brought you here, Meredith didn't want to let you in at first. And I thought that it was because of the posters, because she asked if you were the one that was on the posters. And I told her that they weren't true and that it was my farm that they were referencing. And then she said this thing to Iffy about not recognizing his name and her being in the war, and that being, I guess, the reason why she didn't want to let you in. And I didn't know if you knowed anything about that, or why she would say that.
I'll talk to her about it later.
Alright. The only thing is that I think I have to leave tomorrow. I really don't want to, but I have to be there in 3 days, and today's the second day, and I know that it takes a whole day to get there.
Well, Meredith's not leaving too. I can talk to her tomorrow.
I don't think she's leaving, but are you going to talk to me about it?
What do you need to know?
Because I want you to tell me, and I don't want other people to.
I'm not going to tell you. It's nothing to do with you.
Why don't you want to tell me?
It's none of your business.
Is it not?
No, it's not. Do you not trust me?
I do.
So we talked about this.
About not talking about the war.
Mm-hmm. You told me you wouldn't ask again.
I'm not asking about the war. Just asking why she won't want to let you in.
It's a misunderstanding. That's all. And if you trust me, you'll drop it.
All right. I'm sorry. She's like playing with her hands and like not really looking at him. Like she's just like looking down at her hands.
What does she feel?
I think that she feels really confused and like frustrated because I think before she was like, I thought that you didn't want to tell me anything about the war and you didn't want me asking you stuff about it because like you didn't want to think about that time really about like, and I think that she understood that where she was just like, well, I can tell that it was a bad time for you, and it makes sense to not want to talk about like what you had to do and had to go through, and I think that she's just like, and that's I guess I can get that because, you know, it's his decision to not want to talk about it and have the like she just had to be okay with that because he was so adamant about it. And now I think that she's just like, but now I feel like there's something that I'm like something big that's being like hidden from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that like genuinely matters and is now something that she doesn't know about, that she can't understand why people would make decisions that they're making because of it, because she doesn't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Roll, are you trying to hide that?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that she's so, like, at this point, she can't hide how she feels because she's just like, I'm so tired and stressed out, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm trying to not be stressed out and not be scared and
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
Well, if you're not trying to hide it, Lucian's he's kind of like looking forward and he looks at you and he sees your posture.
Mm-hmm.
You don't trust me.
I do trust you.
That's all I've
I do trust you.
tried to do. I can tell that you don't.
Why do you think I don't?
You think I'm hiding something from you.
I don't think that you're hiding anything. I don't think that you did anything. But I feel like it's a bit frustrating because I don't understand why she would try to say something like that. And I was so scared that she wasn't going to let us in, and I didn't know what she was talking about, and I had no idea about any of it, and so I couldn't talk to her about it, to try to, I don't know, have a conversation with her about it, because I don't know what it is, and I feel like it's just something really big that I don't know about, and that I just have to be okay with not knowing about, and I'm trying to be okay with it, but it's just a little bit hard sometimes. And I haven't asked you about it since that fight that we had about it, and I haven't asked anyone else about it, and when Senthy tries to talk to me about the stuff that he used to try to talk to me about, I tell him very nicely that I really don't want to hear about it. But this is the first time that it really mattered whether or not I knew about it.
I see.
And it's just confusing. And it feels like I'm a bit blind because I don't have any idea about any of it.
It's not something that I come up against Ofen. I'm not just as surprised as you are, but I am surprised, is what I'm saying. I will talk to you about it later.
All right.
Struggling to believe you.
To believe me about what?
When you say that you trust me.
I do trust you.
Right. Well, is there anything else?
I guess not.
He's gonna, like, reach a hand out, kind of absent-minded, like he was gonna touch you, and then he, like, pulls it back.
She's gonna reach her hand out to touch it.
When you do that, you can see him relax.
Mm-hmm.
Like that there's been some sort of something restored or reinforced, or the fact that it's there has been reinforced between you. And he's gonna, like, nod at you to kind of be like, go get him. Like, you know, they're waiting on us. And so, yeah, he, like, nods at you.
All right. And she just kind of, like, sits there for a moment longer. If I go get them, that means it's closer to when I have to leave.
No, it doesn't. It's getting close anyway, whether or not you get them. This will just give us more time to plan, to make sure that you're safe.
All right. And she, like, kind of nods her head and stands up and goes to the door. And we'll go and, like, tell whoever.
Mm-hmm. So you find, like, Yezi and Iffy are, like, sitting at the bottom of the stairs, like, hi, yeah, like, waving.
Yeah.
They're like, sorry, the kid. And, like, Fingers, or Yezi and Iffy, Yezi and Fingers. Fingers is gonna, like, nod his head and, like, call down the stairs and be like, hey, hey, listen up.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep talking, you know, the whole spiel.
Yeah.
And then you all kind of pile back upstairs into the room.
Etheod isn't there, though. He's, like, you know, I think that he's just still in the living room.
Oh, he's, like, not coming?
Yeah.
Fingers is gonna, when he sees it, Etheod isn't coming back upstairs. He's gonna, like, be like, all right, and then he's gonna, like, duck down, and he's gonna walk into the living room. Is Etheod still in the same spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he, like, fell asleep because he was so, like, emotionally drained.
He's gonna walk in there and see that Etheod's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna walk up to him and put his hand on his shoulder.
But
Hey, bud. Sorry to wake you up.
I wasn't asleep.
Right. I just wanted to give you the opportunity, if you want, to, we're gonna keep talking about what's going on tomorrow.
Does, that involve me?
No, but you're pretty smart. I didn't know if you had any insight you wanted to share. It's up to you, though.
I can listen.
Okay. Only if you want to, though. You don't have to.
I know.
Right. Well, I'll give you a minute.
No, I'm fine. You're treating me like I'm some broken piece of glass.
I'm treating you like a kid who just woke up from a nap. I'm treating you like a person who just woke up from a nap. I know Lucien's hurt, but we gave him like a whole half hour to get regular before we're doing this, you know?
Alright. Well, I'm fine.
Alright. Well, let's go. He's gonna turn and walk up the stairs.
And that's where we're going to end for this week's episode of Nat 2.
This was a very long episode that we decided to cut into 2 parts. So tune in next week for part 2 of episode 20. Bye-bye.